Sussex was kicked out, truth revealed, as it was Kate's sentence that destroyed Harry and Meghan. A new book has revealed that the Princess of Wales helped mastermind a palace plan to fight back against the Duke and Duchess of Hypocrisy. Cecil Beaton once famously described the Queen Mother as a marshmallow made on a welding machine. It's a pretty hilarious phrase, and it's a phrase that we should probably dust off and haul out for the 21st century. The Queen Mother was Gordon's #1 customer, and she probably was the reason that the company's stock price took a nosedive after she passed away. And even though she may never have met her great-granddaughter-in-law Catherine, the Princess of Wales, I can only assume that the 41-year-old is her natural heir. Now, as far as we know, the princess is not a fan of drinking at 11:30 a.m. on a daily basis, but she is certainly a very modern marshmallow. For proof of this, look no further than the fact that it has now come out that Catherine played a leading role in delivering one of the biggest blows to Harry in years. It all went down in the Kensington Palace sitting room. It was in March of 2021, in the shocking aftermath of Harry and Meghan's coup de grace and Oprah interview in 2021, and the whole world was still reeling from it. Now, Meghan had just come out and essentially suggested that the royal family had a very serious problem with race, implying that decisions about titles and security may have had a racial dimension, and that there had been concerns and conversations about the skin color of her unborn child. Now, of all the claims that we heard from Meghan and Harry during the 2-hour spectacle of feelings, of the palace's disregard for Meghan's mental health, of a cold and unfeeling family business that put self-interest before distress, it was the question of race that really posed the greatest danger to the palace. Because, let's remember, the late Queen was the head of the Commonwealth, an association of a third of the world's population, and most of the citizens of the Commonwealth countries are people of color. Now, Britain, according to the narrative, was supposed to be a proudly multicultural society, built on the unifying belief that everybody loves some decent curry. And that was why this claim, out of all the claims made by Meghan and Harry, this was the one that the royal family really couldn't try to ignore while praying that it all just disappeared. And this brings us to the recently updated edition of Courtiers. Now, of course, that's the book from Valentine Low, the Times royal writer of 15 years. And it's a book all about the inner workings of the people who sit at the right hand of the monarchy. Now, over the weekend, the Times published an excerpt from Courtiers, and it revealed what happened next in that Kensington Palace sitting room. According to Lowe, Catherine and her husband Prince William sat together on a sofa as they discussed with their officials how to deal with the Sussex's incendiary allegations. Reportedly, they had drafted a statement in response to the Oprah interview, but it was an insider who informed Lowe a much milder version. The debate was, do you rise entirely above it and offer the olive branch of Harry and Meghan being much-loved members of the family, or is there some moment when you have to intervene and offer a view? Now, reportedly, William and Catherine were in agreement on this matter. They wanted it toughened up a bit, according to the insider. The insider also said they were both of one mind that we needed something that said that the institution did not accept a lot of what had been said. He said, it is really important that you guys come up with the right way of making sure that we are saying that this does not stand. She was certainly right behind him on it. So basically, it sounds like this is a great example of William and Catherine being on the same page about basically everything from bedtimes for the kids to batting back across the net history-making and shaking allegations about race. But Lowe has revealed that it was the Princess of Wales who really insisted that they had to deal with the Meghan and Harry problem and that they couldn't just ignore it. So it looks like Catherine may have been the driving force behind that famous statement, recollections may vary. Now at this point, some people inside the palace had qualms that the line may rile up Meghan and Harry. But according to another source who spoke with Lowe, it was Kate who clearly made the point. History will judge this statement, and unless this phrase or a phrase like it is included, everything that they have said will be taken as true. And so, approximately 40 hours after Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview had aired in the US, that famous statement with the recollections line went out, and royal biographers all over the world opened some new Word documents to start their new books. If Harry and Meghan had assumed that their claims about race would go unchallenged by a nervous or maybe shocked or uncomfortable collar-tugging firm, then oh, were they in for a surprise. That single sentence was a rejoinder that refused to allow their interpretation of events to go uncontested, and it also accounted for royal pushback against their narrative. The consequence of that line was that it represented obvious pushback against Harry and Meghan's version of events, and it made it clear that they wouldn't get a monopoly on the truth. So basically, it made sure that Meghan and Harry wouldn't get to own the narrative outright, that there would be some kind of challenge. According to a source that spoke with Lowe, Catherine's role in the statement is yet another example of how Catherine is often far steelier than she appears. She does not get as much credit as she should because she is so subtle about it. She is playing the long game, according to the source. She has always got her eye on, this is my life and my historic path, and I am going to be the queen one day. Alright, maybe we should take a little break here and briefly consider the earth-shattering hoo-ha if Meghan had ever used a phrase like, my historic path. The interesting thing in all of this is that Catherine is a woman who the entire world gets to see all done up looking beautiful in florals and out there patting some babies in the home counties. But she actually seems to be much more of a hard-nosed or power player with one eye on her legacy all the time than we may believe. So in the past 12 years since she joined the royal family, it looks like Catherine has learned a thing or two about being a royal, and she has managed to build up certain reserves of authority and respect. So essentially, Catherine has managed to transform herself from an ornamental bit of royal window dressing into a real, genuine, authentic power player. So if we really want to condense Beaton's marshmallow line down to what it really means, what he was actually saying was that appearances can certainly be deceiving. Catherine may be best known for her bouncy blow-dry, but the woman is ready for battle, and to underestimate her would be a severe mistake. And if you don't believe me, well, then just go ask Harry.